ask who this.
Victoria Monet. It's Victoria Monet. The album is called Jaguar 2.
Oh, yes, it's Flames.
All right, you ready?
You are.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blackout Tips podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
And we're live on a Monday, ready to do some podcasts. And find us wherever you get your podcast by searching the Blackout Tips. Leave us 5-star reviews, man. Come on. Leave us 5-star reviews on Apple Podcast. All right.
If you already left one, re-up it.
What else we got to say? Do that. In addition to that, I have some other show notes I like to tell y'all to do.
Go ahead.
Follow us on Crowdcast. That's where we go live. Right now we have I want to say almost 1,300 followers on there or something. Woo-hoo! We're really close to 1,300. I think we're 9 away. The link is right there in the show notes. Follow us, get updates, watch us live, hang out, look at the pictures, look at the fans and the chat and the interactions we have. It's a good time.
It is.
Also in the show notes is our merch. Okay, you can be rocking cool designs. Y'all see the covers for our show art for our podcast and the stuff that we post on our social media all the time and stuff. Well, those things are things you can have on your body, on a mug, on a pillow, on a bunch of places,
on a mouse pad, posters.
You can let the world know, hey, I listen to the Blackout Tips too. You might run into some cool, it's yo, I recognize that. That's Rod and Karen. Do that. So those are your things to do. All right. I hate to fuss at you like this, but come on. The fuck.
And while you also talking about it, for those of you that can't get enough of us, you can go premium. You can go full-fledged premium. Go to our website and sign up for our premium. It's $15 a month, and you get everything behind the paywall. But if you you know what? I ain't got the 15, but I got the 5 through Spotify. It's just the tip. Look in your feed. You will see. You get episodes. You see they locked. That's why they locked. You click on it and you go through the prompts, and then all the episodes on Spotify will be opened up to you.
Yeah, you get 1 extra episode a week. So those weeks where we don't do 5 or we take some time off or whatever, you still getting a little bit of something. It might be the sports show, might be a movie review, might be the nerd show. It could be a bunch of stuff, but you're getting a little extra Rod and Karen every week. The official weapon of the show is
the folding chair.
The unofficial sport.
Bullet ball.
A bullet ball. Extreme. And I guess it's time for a little bit of banter. I don't know if we have any, but we're going to try. All right. You have any banter today, Karen?
The only banter I had is not really banter.
Talk to the mic.
Oh, yes. Sorry. The only banter I had is not really banter, just what I did today. I got my ears clean, and that was an experience. For those of you that have ever had your ears clean, you can hear the air. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I have tiny ear canals. So my ear canals actually get a lot of earwax kind of built up in them. And so it was hilarious because when I went, she had this thing that she was blowing, and it sounded like somebody going in your ear. And she was like, it ain't moving. I was like, oh, okay. And so then she took this other thing, kind of had to dig down in there and twist a little bit and pulled it out of both ears. And she had me look at it. I was like, God damn, it was in my I was like, surprised I could hear. But yeah, she cleaned it all the way out. So I am so glad she cleaned my ears out really good. Is because I went to the ear, eye, throat people versus the normal doctors. So they're able to use equipment and stuff that your doctors don't have sitting in their office. So she was able to really kind of get down in there. And the disadvantage about small ear canals is that it get built up. But one thing I do I use earwax solution to kind of keep it soft, just so if they have to do any digging, it's not a hard task for them, because I've had I made this mistake. I'll never do this again. When I used to do shout out to the buns and the updos and shit. We used to have bobby pins. Mm-hmm. So I used, when my ears itch, I used to take the bobby pins and kind of dig in my ears. So one day I was like, I can't hear out of either of my ears. I was like, I couldn't hear like nothing. Like literally the sound was gone. And child, I went, they looked at my ear. They didn't say this, but they was like, God damn, what did you do to your ear? I had packed it in there so hard and so tight from just the digging with the hairpins. Because what happened was that I was digging, I was just pushing the earwax.
You're not supposed to put like Q-tips in your ears either. Like that's very dangerous.
Yeah, and I didn't know that. You know, I was small as a kid, so I was I was a lot younger. And so and I guess after a while it kind of hardened. And so this time this time was a breeze, but that time they actually had to tilt my head to the side, and that's when they had to pull out the big dogs. That's when they had to pull out the water, and they actually take you actually like you about to go swimming. They had like all this plastic they put around you and shit like that, and then basically they take this thing and it pushes water in and kind of sucks out the ear stuff at the same time. And they basically had to drill down in there because the shit had got so hard to get the shit to break up so I could hear it. I was like, I'll never do that bullshit again. And then on top of that, after they did that, they had to turn around and do some extra like cleaning to, I guess, get pieces that kind of was kind of in there that kind of didn't get out. And child, I know this might sound stupid. I was like, oh, I see why y'all call me the ear, the ear, eye, throat people. Because child, she was in my ear. I kept saying, you going down my throat. She was like, no, I'm not going down your throat. She was like, all this is connected. And she said, it just has the feeling that I'm going down your throat. I'm actually just going in your ears. So I learned my lesson. Take care of your ears, people.
Yeah, I'll take care of mine. They also have like over-the-counter stuff you can buy to like clean your ears too, that with like this solution and like this weird pump that pushes the water in and out of your ear canal. That works as well.
Okay, I've never done that. I just done the one that actually just soften your ears up, soften the earwax up.
For my banter, I just have my iPhone speaker for my phone for some reason just stopped working. It's very muffled sounding, and crazy. What happened was like I had this problem before, and I thought I was just tripping. I was like, my speaker does not sound as loud as other people's phone speakers. And I'm like, maybe my hearing's going, but I clean my ears. So then I like the other day it happened in the bathroom, and I like blew into the phone, and I thought, and it seemed like it kind of worked or something. I said, oh, so maybe it just had something clogging. Maybe the phone was dirty, but I couldn't see any dirt on the phone that had, but I'm like, maybe I blew it out and I just didn't even see it. And then I was sitting on the couch scrolling Facebook reels, as I want to do when I'm high, and the fucking sound just went out as I was holding it, and I saw it, and I was like, okay, so I'm YouTubing, because anytime I need to fix something, I just YouTube shit. Normally somebody's gone through it before, they tell you how to fix it. And so I'm YouTubing this shit, and it's like take a brush and clean out the speakers and all this stuff, and I did all that stuff, and it just won't turn back on. And we just fucking paid the phones off like a couple months ago, conspiracy. And so now I have to buy I just had to buy a new phone. I was like, they made it so like if you trade it in, it's like trading in my iPhone 12 will give me a certain amount of credit towards the iPhone new one. And then my bill only go up like $5-10 a month instead of the fucking like the full $40 or something. So whatever they say, but it's just such bullshit, because I didn't want to just go to like a phone repair person that has to like go in your phone and know your code and look at your pictures and shit. I didn't feel like doing all that, so I was just like, fuck it, but anyway, that's my banter. Let's get into the regular show. No candy for you. Some towns have banned older kids from trick-or-treating on Halloween.
Why? As long as I ain't doing nothing stupid, I don't see the reason why.
Let's see, Chesapeake, Virginia. Let's see. Wait, hold on. In one city once threatened jail time for teens. And one famous example, Chesapeake, Virginia, until recently had a 1970s law on the books threatening any teen caught trick or treating with up to 6 months in jail. Any teenager. That's anybody over 12.
Right.
Jail? That's how y'all gonna solve this? Jail?
Right.
The city changed the law after a massive backlash, but the statute still says kids over 14 who trick or treat are guilty of a misdemeanor. Other towns have similar laws, like Jacksonville, Illinois, to Rhine, Louisiana, both of which bar kids who are 13 and older from trick or treating.
I did not know that was a thing.
That's so weird, because I know that's about the age most of us start feeling a bit awkward trick or treating, but it's candy and I'm 13. I'm going.
Right.
Give me a ninja mask. Let's do this.
Right. And all kids ain't designed to be like, fuck it, parents, I want to be free. Like, some kids are like, I still want to be a kid.
Give me a shirt and tie, okay? I'm a businessman. Give me candy. Because when you get that age, the costumes get a little lazy.
They do.
Because then I just want the candy. We both know what I'm here for. I just show up in your desk. I just show up on your porch, dressed like just my clothes I wore to school that day. Like, I'm a student. I need candy.
Right. And also it's one of those things where I think that's kind of the age where you're still a child, but you're going through a phase, and all children, like I say, are awkward and all types of things. Like, I don't see a problem, wrong with it. Like I said, maybe say 16, 17, I could see you be like, no, you too old, but anything kind of under that.
I don't think laws need to get involved in this, no matter what the age.
All right, because it's stupid altogether.
Like, unless we're talking about like some 40-year-old person out there like that shouldn't be around kids. I just don't find that there should be any laws. Do not need to be involved in this situation.
Yeah, not unless it's something where the kids actually breaking the law. There's no law, you know what I mean?
Well, they're breaking the law because you made a new law up.
Yes, but I mean, without the law, like if they're out here egging, shit like that, like that's completely different.
But we have laws on the books for vandalism.
Yes,
so we don't need a new law.
No, we don't. I agree with you on that one.
In Belleville, Illinois, a law on Halloween solicitation forbids anyone above 8th grade for going trick-or-treating. First of all, solicitation sounds like prostitution. So maybe people are wearing those sexy costumes you get from Party City and going house to house and fucking people. Because if not, no laws need to be involved in this. Mm-mm. The city also requires anyone over the age of 12 to get permission of the mayor or chief of police. How many people in this little fucking town you could just be like, hey, mayor, is it cool if I trick or treat tonight? All right, I guess you're 13.
Yeah,
but
they don't even enforce this shit.
Hopefully not.
No way.
So yeah, this seems kind of damn dumb.
Mm-hmm. And it's a way to penalize children.
Yeah, hopefully no one's, like you said, enforcing it. So it just because this feels like they also the kind of law no one in your city would know about. Because
right,
like like feels like the kind of law where you'd be like, wait, what? We can't do what? No?
Right, and that's not funny. The whole thing in the spirit is just giving candy. You know what I'm saying? Like if you bought all this candy to fucking give out, what are you gonna be like? I'm not giving you no candy. The fuck you giving out candy for? Like, it almost like defeats the purpose of getting out the candy.
Stop me if you've heard this one before, but the Maine mass shooter had numerous run-ins with authorities, showed warning signs long before the shooting. Yeah, now they got his history and stuff. He tried to buy a silencer like 3 weeks ago.
Oh.
He was hearing voices. He owned a lot of guns. Cops had stopped by to check on him a couple times. Because they believed he would go on a rampage.
Oh no.
Nearly 3 months ago, he tried and failed to acquire a device used to acquire guns. 3 months ago to acquire a silencer. They said he already had submitted information to the federal government to purchase it, and federal authorities had approved the sale to that point. On August 5th, when he filled out the form at the gun shop to pick up the silencer, he answered yes to the question, have you ever been adjudicated as a mental defective, or have you ever been committed to a mental institution? As soon as he answered yes, we knew automatically this is disqualifying. He's not getting the silencer today. So that's the only reason he didn't get it. And he could have just checked no. I mean, this is our gun laws.
Yeah, because people do all the time, right?
If he would have just checked no, he would have got that silencer. But yeah, they said he was full of red flags. They went to check on him, but because they didn't see him at his job or his house, they just let it go.
No.
Yeah, family members said he had recently been hearing voices and became more focused on the bowling alley and bar where the shootings took place. Yeah, it just police were alerted to veiled threats by the U.S. Army reservists. 2 local law enforcement chiefs told the Associated Press that a statewide awareness alert was sent in mid-September to be on the lookout for him, and after he made threats against his base and fellow soldiers. But ultimately, after a visit to his home, the police just moved on.
Wow.
The Army directed that he should not have a weapon, handle ammunition, and not participate in live fire activity. He was declared non-deployable due to concerns over his well-being.
So none of this was like his name wasn't on the list where they were like, no, not you, not today. You can't get guns.
1, he already has guns, and 2, this is a state that don't really have gun laws because they think that, not to paint too fine a bow on it, but this is just my opinion, and I'm not 100% sure it's gonna hold up to everything, to scrutiny or whatever. But my belief is, because this is where like Bernie Sanders is from, and this state, Maine, is 94% white, 2% Black or African American. It's considered somewhat of a liberal state, but they basically, even Bernie's in the pocket of like, the gun lobby and shit. And in his state, he feels like the gun laws in his state are fine because it's like a cultural thing. We use them different here. This ain't like Chicago and shit, which has all kinds of different, connotations.
Right.
But to me, I feel like these people are like, it's different up here with us white folks. Our guns this is safe. Our culture is fine with us having guns because we're not going to hurt anybody.
Right.
Which is, if you look around at the mass shooters, the list and the faces and the racial makeup, that makes no fucking sense.
Right. Because majority of them are white. The fuck are you talking about?
Right. And are you really a liberal state, or are you just a state without a lot of Black people?
Correct.
And so, like I said, it's kind of conspiratorial. I don't know that it fully connects, and that's fine. But this is just the way I'm feeling about it. Is y'all thought this shit couldn't happen because y'all didn't think you needed laws, and now that somebody got shot up, that a bunch of people got shot up, now you're like, we do need laws, and we thought we were different, but we're not. And I'm sorry, and I'm gonna stop voting against the gun lobby and all this. For the gun lobby and stuff. And sure, I guess, but people die because we as a country will not take any of this into account.
No, we won't take it seriously.
Yeah. So, but yeah, he had a shit ton of red flags. Let's see. General Motors has reached a tentative agreement with the UAW, potentially ending the 6-week strike.
Oh, let's go.
United Auto Workers. That's right, JL Covan. I don't just care about strikes when it's only for the writers. Huh. Rain on that parade. No, I'm just kidding. But did I just rain on your parade?
Yeah, I'm glad because if them cars and shit ain't moving, it matters.
Yeah, it's crazy because cars cost more than ever. The idea that the people that literally make the cars are not making more money
and they can't even afford to buy the cars they're making.
This just feels like so much of just America in a microcosm of like everything costs more than it used to cost. And then people that supposed to get the money aren't getting the money. It's streaming services raising prices and then telling you like, we can't afford to pay anybody that makes the content you watch. But why are you raising? Well, then where's the money going?
Right. Where's the money going?
Every business feels like that right now. Restaurants, exorbitant prices. And you're like, so that's fine as long as y'all take care of your employees. And they're like, we're not. Like, yes, that bacon and eggs is $20 now, but we still need you to tip because this is not going to any employee. They're not having a better life. because bacon and eggs is $20.
Right.
And meanwhile, CEOs' pay is staying at the same, if not going up. That's crazy.
Right.
Yeah. Apparently, workers will get an immediate pay bump of 11% upon ratification. So that's good. And I'm sure it won't keep up with everything, but I mean, it's
it's better
they got something,
right,
out of this shit than whatever the owners wanted, which is to give these motherfuckers nothing
or less.
Right. But yeah, we'll see. And then of course the auto people are like, well, then we might have to raise prices. You've been raising prices.
The cars are cost triple the prices that they did a few years ago. Sometimes some of these cars cost triple more than for the pandemic.
Yep. Check your email. 50,000 borrowers will get student loan forgiveness notices.
Let's go.
And yes, it's real.
Let's go.
It's real. You gotta go way back with the podcast to know that. The education department is currently notifying thousands of borrowers that they've qualified for student loan forgiveness under a temporary Biden administration program designed to provide relief for those who have older student loans. So yeah, that's nearly $3 billion in student loan forgiveness. Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Good luck to you all, and I hope everybody on the list.
Yep. So it's not a Nigerian scammer this time, y'all. Fill out the forms.
Fill them out.
18 Lizzo employees wrote letters defending the singer against ex-dancers' accusations. Oh, they don't want to cover this part though. Okay.
Controversy.
Lizzo innocent. So yeah, according to TMZ, which obtained new court documents in the case, 18 employees with Lizzo's Big Girl Big Touring wrote a statement slamming Lizzo's accusers. One letter penned by dancer Kiara Mooring flat out denied that the performers would be punished for refusing to hang out with Lizzo off stage at the Banter Bar sex performance in Amsterdam. This claim also makes no sense because plenty of dancers, myself included, did not go to the bar that night, and we still have our job dancing with Lizzo. Yeah, and that's what I was saying about the lawsuit. It felt kind of like it's trying to embarrass her into like you say you stand for all this stuff, but you don't. And at the end of the day, it's somewhat of a millennial mindset in my mind of this, like, you're supposed to innately understand our emotions. And so you need to treat this thing that seems very predictable and kind of like something that people are okay with pop stars and touring groups. And if you've toured a play or whatever the fuck, like it's like not all professional. It's not all business. Now, right. Maybe it should be. So, like, if that's going to be the new rules going forward, then that'll have to be the new rules. Right, but yeah, up until this point,
HR needs to be involved.
Up until this point, being involved in those type of, like, if you go on tour with a rock band and the rock band goes to a strip club, that's not some like workplace violation for most people. And then the part of the suit that I think a lot of people kind of jumped on and fell hook, line, and sinker for, because the lawsuit that's designed to give you the worst version of the person. And as this is designed to give you the worst version of the accusers, right? But the idea that if we didn't go, we will be punished with no evidence that was going to happen or had happened to anyone was wild to me.
Right.
And people were treating it as facts. Like, well, they have to go. It's like that is in your head. Lizzo can't, or the dance coach or whoever can't make that a thing. You need some evidence. You need like somebody said something that like that, somebody got kicked off the tour because they decided not to go to the club. You need that in the lawsuit. So when that wasn't in there, I was like, I don't know if this shit is even gonna work. But these 18 letters don't prove anybody innocent either, because someone else can have a different experience than the other people had.
All right.
But that claim in particular stuck out to me, and I made note of it at the time, that it was weird. Some of this stuff was like stuff they were thinking that they never expressed, and then tried to be like, and clearly she should have just known because she's Lizzo.
Right, she's supposed to reach our minds.
Another dancer, Melissa Locke, shared that after speaking with Davis and Rodriguez the morning after the banana incident, they seemed excited about the night out, didn't express any disapproval about it. Lizzo has maintained her innocence, alluding at the women being disgruntled former employees. So we'll see what happens if this like goes all the way to court and they don't settle. Because like I said, I think they just want to embarrass her, and people low-key already don't want to like her.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a lot of we tolerate her, and it's not the people you think. It's not just the like fat phobic, hateful people. It's a lot of liberal people that don't like it. It's a lot of black women who thought, like, I remember when they tried to like pit her and oh god, what's the singer at the Soul Train Awards? She was complaining. But
yeah,
you know what I'm talking about? But like I remember
I don't
then
remember her
a
name,
lot of
but
the
yeah.
slander that came out, it was like,
because that came out.
this
of
is not
nowhere.
about this award. Y'all are calling this woman like all kinds of like mammies and coons and shit. Like y'all supposed to be like the black womanist da 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 da's. What the fuck are y'all doing right now?
Ari Lennox.
Yeah, that's who it was. It was just like a weird level of vitriol for her that came out of like nowhere to me. And she gets it all different kinds of angles. So, you know, whatever. Doesn't make her a perfect person or even a good person. She could still be a terrible person and da da da. But I truly think this lawsuit was designed to bring out the wolves on her. And then she was just supposed to fold and be like, listen, I'm scared. People are, so many people just don't like me.
Yeah, because when people think you care, they do that shit just to cause you to fold. And, you know, you're the problem if y'all be like, nah. And on top of that, not trying funny, it's one of those things where, you know, they came at her about lyrics. She changed them. So they felt like, we come after you about this too, and you'll fold too. And she was like,
and like I said, I'm not saying that's exactly what happened, but
right.
I could see a scenario where that's what's happening. Is where like this lawsuit sounded more like she ain't who she say she is, y'all. And then everybody could be like, finally, I could tell y'all I don't like this fat bitch. Like that's how it felt to me looking at the vitriol online, because it wasn't the same, you know. In Mississippi, most voters will have no choice about who represents them in the legislature. That's how fucking gerrymandered and everything is over there. Yep. After being in office for over a decade, Mississippi State Senator Dean Kirby got challenged in the Republican primary. He won with 70% of the vote. That was in 2003, and it remains the last time he faced an opponent. The longtime Jackson area senator, keep in mind Jackson is black population, is on the ballot again this year without either a Democrat or Republican challenger, because they know it's so gerrymandered, there's no fucking point.
Right, so people don't even try to actually run against them, because it's like, oh, I am going to. And I bet you over the decades, they've seen person after person after person after person lose. And
the thing I hate about this conversation when we have to have it, because I listen to a lot of podcasts that talk about this. Normally it's white people talking about it. And they always try to do this like thing of like, that I call like performative impartiality, where they say, well, both sides do it. No, they don't. And definitely not like this.
Democrats don't pass laws like this.
Democrats cannot this is not about them being better morally. Democrats, by nature of what makes up the Democrat voting base, cannot do this. They just don't have the power to do this effectively in the way that Republicans can. Republicans can target a college town. We know college students vote Democrat. We're going to fucking make it hard to vote there. Black people. We know black people vote Democrat. We're going to make it hard to vote there.
You got early voting.
Right.
We're going to curb the hours. We're going to make it so people can't vote on Sundays and Saturdays. And we know most black and brown people vote. We're going to adjust the hours after, so instead of, close the polls closing at 6 and 7 and 8, we're going to make it where they close at 3. Bullshit like that.
So those are the tactics. But I'm saying that they can target certain demographics because they know. Democrats can't really do that because it's a coalition party. You stop white people from voting, there's white Democrats that represent like 40% of the white vote. You're not going to do that. So that's why I don't even pretend that it's it's kind of the same. When Democrats get power, they're not able to effectively do that the same.
Right.
Not because, like I said, you can take the morals out of it, because it's not about, they're all bad. All politicians are bad. Fuck that shit. You can't do it. Try blocking out a block where only Democrats will be the people here. The only way you can do that is to be like, this is where the black population is. This is where the college town is. And nobody else in here can vote. They're not going to be able to do that. Anyway. But yeah, this is Mississippi. The percentage of legislative seats with no major party opposition in the general election has risen steadily from 63% in 2011 to 85% this year.
Yeah, that's a problem. It's also, one of the things where if I want to fault the Democrats as a whole, as a totality, start pumping money into some of these southern states. Start bringing your asses down here and fighting against this bullshit. Start coming down here and raising hell. Don't act like the other parts of the country are the ones that actually matter more than the South. Don't actually, because I think for a lot of voters, period, they literally have just gave up on the South. They're like, fuck them niggas down there, let them scrape. We're just like, no, we actually matter too. Why should I have to move? Why white supremacy came in here and took over? I had nothing to do with these niggas coming in here and jerry rigging, but y'all don't invest the motherfucking money like you should to pump and push and educate people and shit like this. Y'all put money in places where you know it's a motherfucking guaranteed win. Come down here and do some grassroots shit if y'all want to win these shit. Don't give up on the South.
I agree. I think it's, and I think also it fuels the voter apathy of the people there. We didn't even talk about this on the show when I can't remember what state it was, but it was one of these southern states like Mississippi or Alabama, and Democrats lost in like a bloodbath like maybe 3-4 weeks ago. And we didn't really talk about it that much because a lot of people was just blaming black voters, which is fucking asinine and ridiculous because as many black voters as there are there, they don't have the numbers to overcome the gerrymandering that has happened. It's literally not, the numbers game is not that. The only people to blame in that case would be white people that refuse to vote Democrat or refuse to vote because they actually live in the places where they could change things, but they define what the way shit is apparently.
Right.
But I didn't talk about it because I don't want to do a lecture about black apathy and stuff. I do think black apathy is stupid as far as voting in America, but I'm not. It's not the cause of everything. And when you read something like this, you realize how big the problem is. It's not just a want to issue. It's they've set this shit up so much it wouldn't matter. For people, and so they start to think voting doesn't matter at all.
Right, and it's one of those things where, like I said, as somebody who's in down south, it's very, very frustrating. And like I said, I know I said this before, but it's very frustrating when you hear people and you listen to people, particularly people that live outside of this area, talk about the South like the South is just butt ass backwards and y'all got what y'all wanted and this is what y'all voted for. No, bitch, this is not what people voted for. There are a lot of people that don't want this bullshit. Their votes are being tied up. Their votes are being forced out. They're being kicked off of voter registration, and they don't know it and shit like that. Like it's more to it than that. And it's one of those things where it's like, for the most of the black people in this country, for most people, most of y'all have some association with the South in some shape, form, or fashion. So it's one of those things where, when you do that, you're going, well, fuck a lot of my extended family or my family from the past or extended family that might have came from here, that traveled to other parts of this country. You act like none of their sacrifices matter when you just literally just give up on the South like that. To me, in particular, like I said, too many black and brown people down here for you to think that we all want this, and I shouldn't have to pack up my motherfucking bags and move because it's fucked up. Will you do that then? Something fucked up happened to you. Are you gonna move? No, you're gonna actually stay there and fight for the shit. Why don't you think we want to do that too?
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, so that's Mississippi. In other news, Keith Lee, I guess, is the Omar of restaurants, in the restaurant industry in Atlanta. Because
this shit escalated all over the place. I think I lost what was happening. You got to fill me in.
Last time I checked on Keith Lee, I think last time we brought him up on the show, there was a woman who was like trying to take him down, claiming that he like just being an asshole, and he was right in that case, in my opinion. And she just tried to make it seem like he stole her idea and all this shit. It was dumb. Then, we hear good stories about Keith Lee, you can get this type of Qdoba meal and shit. And he's gotten a lot of influence very quickly over the pandemic, former MMA fighter. Now, I guess I call him a food or restaurant influencer.
Yes.
Because I don't think what he's doing I don't think he's trying to be a food critic.
No.
People keep comparing him to like the Michelin stars and all this shit, and chef, dude, he doesn't have any culinary experience. I don't think he's trying to do that. I don't think that's his lane.
He's like this. He's like, I'm just a regular person. I'm eating these things, and I'm just giving my opinion.
And while him being just a regular person might not be quote unquote true as far as like the impact he can have, he wants the experience that you would give a normal fucking person.
Right.
And so he showed up to Atlanta, where a lot of people have talked about, you know, I've seen it on Twitter before. Anecdotally, you see people complain about some of the restaurant scenes in Atlanta, especially like the really happening restaurants, which, you know, there's the really happening restaurants. Normally there's issues with those anyway, whether you Keith Lee or not. Just they're trying to service like celebrities, and it's influencing, and it's trying to get on and be seen and be on Instagram and shit. So like their priority of the food service and the experience might not be the same as the priority of clout and looking like the dopest place to spend time. And so with celebrity customers and stuff, you can show up there, they recognize you, know who you is, they like, oh, okay, celebrity, we got to fucking get right here, sir. First table, hey, the wait is 4 minutes. He's going places, and they have different rules, especially on the weekends for some of these places that are like happening like that, where they don't take reservations, but also if you're in person, they the wait could be up to an hour and a half. If he doesn't go in himself, he sends his family in so they don't know it's him.
Right.
Because he wants to know what the normal experience would be for his reviews. He doesn't want the people to be like, oh, it's Keith Lee. And so they tell his family like, hey, it's an hour and a half, you know, no exceptions, no reservations, no, you can't come back, you just gotta wait, blah blah blah. And so then he'll come in and they'll be like, oh, 5 minutes, we got you a seat right away. And he's like, no, like he'll put it in his review. Some of these reviews he didn't even get food. And not all the reviews are bad, just to be frank, like, because I think that's an important part of this. The ones that people want to talk about are the bad ones.
Right.
But he's also had some good reviews of food in places there. Been like, it's been great.
Yes, I follow him on TikTok. I just gotta find out about the TikTok at Kev on Stage and things like that. And you know, it's one of those things where sometimes it's funny. You know, sometimes he'll rate them all types of ways. He'll talk about going into, you know, these different places and just his kind of personal, you know, experiences. And he's kind of traveled across the country, so this is not the first time he kind of quote unquote visited a city.
Yeah, but coming to Atlanta is, I guess, the people have been waiting on this one, because especially people that are dissatisfied with the culinary scene in Atlanta, who have been like, finally, maybe y'all will listen to him talk about it, because it's a very trash experience. It's, if you're not a celebrity, you're not getting served. The wait times are ridiculous. They don't allow carry out. You know, it could be for various reasons. Some people are like, it's too much greed. Y'all are fucking trying to have too many people in your restaurant and shit, you know, and y'all don't have the staff for that, and all this other stuff. But yeah, let me see if I can play some of one of his reviews for y'all. It makes you open up another page. Okay, all right, let's see if this works. No, I don't want to log in. Let's go.
You're gonna go get it. They said you're gonna fight over this.
I'll tell you exactly what this is. This is everything that I ate at Disney, right? From my least favorite to my most favorite. He had 13 things.
This isn't even the one I clicked on. I just wanted to play the one I clicked on. What the fuck? Oh, there we go.
Damn, see what this biscuit talking about. You mean no jelly? No jelly? Some syrup on a biscuit? Yeah. That's crazy work.
The butter is $1.
The butter $1?
Yeah, that's right. Swear to God.
The butter $1 at a breakfast place?
Swear to God, that was like
the little cut.
that little cut. He said.
It needs jelly for sure. It's buttery. It's salty. It's a good biscuit. I just can't swallow it. It's dry. That's like any biscuit. So I'm not faulting this biscuit specifically, but I am faulting. See, you hear how my words coming out, but I am faulting the fact that it don't come with jelly. And butter is $1. That's crazy. Last but not least, the salmon croquette.
It's good.
Is it? It's good.
Mm-hmm.
I need some sauce. It comes with a little remoulade sauce. I just didn't put it on first.
So I was like, oh, that's, I guess, a good one. And, you know, he's talking about the dollar butter and stuff like that. So people might take that as a negative thing. But
But you did charge $1, so
right, like, and people that eat there gonna feel that way.
Real milk and honey. I got it.
Now this is the one that everybody is that everything went left on.
Yeah,
Okay?
if from my you good.
Yeah, I'm about to play it.
Yeah.
Let's try it and rate it 1 through 10. As you can see, I don't have any bags in my hands. We are at the Real Milk and Honey on Main Street in College Park. Before we came, we attempted to call our order in. We were greeted with an automatic message that said they do not take call-in orders. The automatic message said the only way you can do pickup is through DoorDash. We went through DoorDash, they was closed. But online, it said they closed at 5 o'clock. We went on DoorDash at 4 o'clock. But we were already here, so we just went inside. I stayed in the car and my family went in and they told them they were closed early for deep cleaning. Yet the door's wide open and it's people still going in and grab their orders. Now we have no idea if those people ordered beforehand or what the case is. Also, the people who relayed this message, my family said were really nice. It's just the rules. And so far being in Atlanta, I found some places do have unique rules and this is one of them. I want to be very clear, we're not blaming one person or saying one person was rude. In plain terms, don't call this restaurant trying to get nobody fired. Ain't nobody do nothing. This is just the rules they had. If you don't like their rules not for you. And for me and my family, the rules is what for us. We just not their target audience. For the record, afterwards, I did walk in and they did recognize me and they attended the services, but I respectfully declined. I'm a normal person. I pay for my food like everybody else. I walk in spots like everybody else. We are all normal people. Respectfully, if you're not going to do it then, don't do it now. God bless you. Yeah,
he added that audio after the fact, but one of the things I like about his videos and stuff like this, he's so thoughtful about that stuff. Now look, it's the internet and people are assholes. So they did get people tagging them, talking shit in their comments, because he has a lot of pull. He's very popular and he can't control all those people. And yeah, it's definitely fucked up that they would do that, because especially against his wishes. I just don't understand. It's just people are fucked up and I don't think he's ever going to be able to do anything about that, because his following is online. He's doing the reviews on social media, and there's a huge portion of social media that no matter how positive or professional you want to keep it, they would like to get in some mess.
And also the milk and honey, there's a branch out from it, and I think that part got sold, the one in DC, which has nothing to do with the one in Atlanta, because a lot of people saying the one in DC is getting harassed, and people's like, we ain't got nothing to do with them. Like, we are two separate entities.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous. But back to this review.
Trying to get some food, but I am going to make this very clear. I do not support, condone, or agree tearing down these businesses. While we personally may not have the best customer service experience, it does not mean we'll have the same experience. That also don't mean go on Twitter and tear these businesses down. At the end of the day, business owners are people. Never know what people are going through. The only reason I'm even making this is to share my authentic and real experience like I always do. I don't mean no harm. I don't have no malicious intent, but I always say I'm going to be 100% honest, and that comes with the good and the not so good. You don't know what nobody going through.
I also find this different than the guy we covered a while ago,
yes,
who went to Charlotte and was just shitting on all the black food businesses and then talking about, I'm going to open up my own restaurant in Charlotte. That came off so clout chasey and mean spirited to me. I feel like he's trying not to have that vibe. He can't help the internet is mean. He either has to stop doing this for a living or do this and put as many disclaimers as he does and hope people actually listen to him.
Right, because he go, I'm just giving my opinion. My purpose is not to harm, attack, or take down these businesses. Yeah. So I understand that, because it's like, that's not the purpose of why I do this.
Right.
So what we can't do is just judge off of somebody else's experience. If you would like to go to these places or any other place that I've been to, I encourage you to go try it for yourself and make your own opinion. But we still in Atlanta and we on Main Street and it's a bunch of spots here. So we're going to go to a different spot. God bless you. Have an amazing day.
There was a couple spots that were messed up. Some people had like the goods, like one restaurant was like a Jamaican restaurant and people was like, they had the best service, because Jamaican restaurants are notorious for not having the best service, yeah, and then people started looking into milk and honey. Someone pulled up the rules that they had, the house rules. 1, we guarantee great food. Everything else is left to chance. We try our hardest, though. We really do. 2, we do not provide individual checks. However, we will allow up to 3 forms of payment. 3, 18% gratuity added to parties of 5 or more, or checks larger than $75. 4, no modifications of any menu items. If you have a food allergy, please choose another item without the allergen. 5, be nice. 6, no reservations unless you're Barack Obama. Hey, there's exceptions to every rule. So I think they try to be funny. Then they made a video trying to be funny of I guess the owners or whatever, the people that work there sitting in the lobby, and the audio's not that great.
I think they gave us a review, right?
Yeah, okay. The audio's not that great, but I'll play it.
Did you see this Keith Lee video about the real milk and honey?
And who is this Keith Lee?
So it's they're pretending they don't know who Keith Lee is.
Well, he basically said they recognized him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So like I think they thought, this is our get
And
back.
who is this Keith Lee?
I don't know why it doesn't want to play that.
You don't know Keith Lee?
No.
So it's supposed to be like it's kind of corny and I mean, it's kind of mean spirited too, in that.
And
But
it
it-
does
it's-
not make you look good as a business.
Right. But also like there was another post that someone had on Twitter that was supposed to be from like their either social media manager or like the manager of Milk and Honey that said something like y'all let an autistic you let an autistic dude tell y'all where you can eat or something like that, which got, I believe, deleted. And
Yeah,
of course people was trying to like,
Yeah, what does
dox
that got
her
to do
and-
with anything?
yeah, they was putting her like personal information on the internet. I saw that. But it's definitely out of control and ridiculous as a response, which did not help. Which definitely did not help the point that she was trying to make. Yeah, y'all let an autistic man tell you where to eat, and it's only TikTok. Nobody give a fuck in real life. Be fucking for real, according to this screenshot.
You're trying to kill your business, dog. And my thing is this: as a restaurant, I know it sounds sad. Sometimes people fuck up, employees fuck up, people fuck up, and you got to be like, all right, this is gonna be.
Or
good.
you have fucked up rules and ways.
That's true too.
Also, and like this is one of the reasons I don't really hit up a lot of happening spots is because I think a lot of restaurant industry shit is so much about vibe that sometimes they'll just be fucked up because they know they can get away with it.
Yes.
Where it's like we got a fucked up rule here because ain't shit you can do about it. And at the same time, I also understand that running the business is fucking hard, especially a brick and mortar restaurant. Most of them don't make it. And if you reach a level of like prestige or something like that, and you a black restaurant, you want to cash in on it, I do understand. And y'all ain't gonna be the only motherfuckers that got rules downtown and shit, and I'm sure that y'all also have things you have to deal with that we don't, as a
Right.
customer. It's like when people get mad at a restaurant for having a rule like, hey, don't twerk on the table. And people are like, wow, they only would do that because black people go there. And I'm like, or they did it because some people twerked on the table.
Right. These rules
And then
don't
they had
come
to
out of
pass a
nowhere.
rule that they didn't want to fucking publicize. But yeah, we got to have a rule. So I can understand that. But yeah, the Keith Lee thing is interesting just because of the comedy of it all to me. It's so funny that he has so much of a following and people care so much about his opinion on these restaurants, and he has so much goodwill, but low key, even if he doesn't want to, he can almost like take your business down if you fuck around.
And it's also and I like that that's not his purpose, but also it's also one of those things where there were businesses that he has been to in the past where I think he went to this one place and they either forgot or didn't put salt on it or something like that. And he was talking about how good it was. And they were saying they literally had to change their menu because they would like put salt on it. And they was like, people say, I don't want no salt. They was like, what are you? Salt comes on. They was like, no, I want it the same way he had it because
Right.
I want the same, experience that he had. So they literally had to do that. And, and anybody can fall for it because I'm not going to lie. That thing he had with
With
Chipotle, that shit was good. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, it was really, really good. I tried and it was you could only order it through the app, but it was really, really good. It was for a limited time, and if they still had it, I would have went out there and continued to order it because they was like, you make it up and we'll actually prepare it. So it's one of those things where I think a lot of people, they love food, they love good food, and they actually are like, hey, if he says good, I'm going to go try it just because he said to try it.
I think also just a large part of this that can't be ignored, and it does fuck me up a little bit, and I don't know where you put it because I don't think it's his fault, but a large part of the internet just likes being mean.
Yes.
And that's the reason that the bad reviews went viral, not the good ones. It's the reason that people spent more time harassing, the bad places than frequenting the good places. There's something to it. there,
Mm-hmm.
and people are couching it in like fairness and justice, but it's not really about that for them. And it's so off-putting because that's not the vibe he puts out. He does not want that, and yet here we are, you know. So that's an interesting thing to think about for me. And yeah, I'll leave it at that because I really like his content. He seemed like a person that's trying to put good things out there, and I don't think he ever does this stuff to try to destroy somebody. So
and sound like in the reviews he basically was saying, yeah, this is my experience, go try it for yourself. Like your experience might be different, like these places, you know, might be your jam. Like he covered Bojangles, and we was like the best part is the chicken, but he didn't get the chicken, you know, but that's fine. I'm still gonna eat Bojangles.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with him. People shouldn't take it that seriously. And
right,
ultimately, if they have a good restaurant and people are willing to wade through all that bullshit, that kind of stuff doesn't typically tear down a restaurant's user base or customer base.
Right.
It does it slowly. It doesn't tear it down right away. It just gets to a point where you're not the happening spot no more. And that's when it's like, can you withstand the fact that people ain't going here and waiting an hour and a half to eat? That's when you know if your restaurant can last. And when motherfuckers are like, I'm just coming here because the food tastes good. I'm not coming here. I'm just coming here because I like the experience. You know, what other restaurants gonna open up the street? You're going to have competition.
Yes, you are.
You know, will your place still be a place that people wait an hour and a half for every, you know, months from now, years from now? We'll see.
Yeah, we will.
All right, let's get to another segment.
We're going to war. Gender war. There's a war going on outside. Gender war. There's a war going on outside. Gender war.
Now the first thing for Gender Wars I have to say is an update. And I don't know, it's news that I'm biased to believing because it's news that justifies my opinion that I previously held.
Okay.
But I don't know 100% sure if it's real news because it's one of these screenshots from someone who has a YouTube page talking about the Cheesecake Factory video.
Okay.
Now, I know most of y'all would go, Rod, you were right. Just accept you were right because you said this shit was all fake and you should just take the W. I want to take the W. I really do. I'm gonna play Rod is right. I will play it. But look, this don't look like real news to me. It says fake over a screenshot. Then it says receipt, and then it's her. That's her name, Nikia, and she's replying to somebody or something, and she says it's a skit. Every video was, I guess, made on the same day. There's a whole behind the scenes being put together as well. It will be revealed further, but you all do realize the more this is shared, the more money it makes. People don't use critical thinking skills. Social media is a powerful tool in so many ways. So it seems like that's a confession that they did a skit and this is all bullshit. And it looks like this is some new video they made together sitting on a couch or something. I don't know if they're being interviewed or what, but so people are like, listen, this shit is fake. And Rod, you were right. You called it. To which obviously I'm going to accept being right. And I hope I'm right. Cause I honestly think the worst thing that could come of this is, me being wrong and they genuinely made this dumbass video and they truly weren't acting. I hope they were acting because it's so stupid.
Rob is right. Yep, Rob is right. Rob is right. Rob is right. Yep, Rob is right. Yeah, Rob is right. Whoop, what was that again? Oh yeah, Rob was right. Rod was right.
Yeah, so it does make me want Cheesecake Factory though, and I haven't wanted Cheesecake Factory in years.
Ain't that the truth?
I'm like, man, I'm gonna go to some Cheesecake Factory. Good eating in there.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the new Gender Wars. So, ex-NBA player Joe Smith. Okay. I remember him from playing college basketball, I believe, for Maryland. I thought this nigga, he was the first dude I thought was going to be crazy in the NBA. And it just never worked out. You couldn't have told me Joe Smith wasn't fitting to be
somebody.
Barkley. Okay, I said, this man, the greatest player I've ever seen in my life. And that was before I learned that niggas could be cold as fucking college, get to the NBA and be like, no, it's a wrap on that.
Different level.
So his wife, Keisha Chavis, put out a video.
Okay.
And so
Joe Smith's wife.
Yes. And
Okay.
people started sharing it on social media. Let's watch the video and then I'll give you the backstory. But this is her. She's recording herself. Just happened to catch herself perfectly in the middle of the argument. Completely perfect. No one's going to say anything too over the top. No disrespectful words that you can't come back from. No cancelable shit is going to be said. But just coincidentally, she caught him off the cuff at the perfect moment. And it says, ex-NBA player Joe Smith finds out his wife has an OnlyFans.
It's stupid, yo. I can't believe I'm sitting here just finding out you got an OnlyFans page. Out of all these years, yo.
Why are you talking to her?
Once again, he's talking, but are you listening to what he's saying? Listen to what he's saying, Karen. Don't just look at him.
It's stupid, yo. I can't believe I'm sitting here just finding out you got an OnlyFans.
I can't believe I'm sitting here just finding out you got an OnlyFans page. How amazing a coincidence. She hit record as he stated the premise of the conflict perfectly.
Right.
Amazing. It's honestly, what a miracle of content. What a miracle.
Out of all these years, yo, the disrespect that comes with it, that you could even talk to me before you did it, that's bullshit, yo. That's fucked up, Hughes. I'm telling you, that's fucked up.
Wait, no. Calm, but you're not gonna say fuck me or that's fucked up. It's not fucked up.
Recording me? What the fuck you doing?
So now he's obviously upset she's recording him. She's been recording this time. He doesn't sound too shocked, but listen, he's an NBA player, not an actor. All right, leave him alone.
Listen, it's not fucked up. And we're going to, okay, look, so I have an OnlyFans page and
she's walking up the stairs, he's following her.
He's mad because he's just now finding out about it.
Of course I'm mad.
Now, what's interesting about this video, who knows if they cropped it out or something, but where was this shared? Like, where's our Instagram? Like, if you screen cap this, where's the Instagram? Like, this is her Instagram page. If this is live on Facebook, where's the Facebook? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's weird.
What was this posted?
It looked like just a FaceTime or something. It was posted. I don't know when it was posted. We can't tell.
No. What social media site was this posted?
Twitter was somebody going, "Hey, look at this. This is Joe Smith's wife."
And it might be because I find they older, so they not be on top of stuff that.
But no, you don't put it on top of stuff. You've been on Instagram Live, right?
Mm-hmm.
It just is on the screen.
Oh, okay.
Where is that information?
Yeah,
Where's the TikTok information?
And people, you start seeing people comments floating and hearts and stuff, right? Yes.
Yeah, this literally looks like she recorded herself on her phone.
Yes.
And then uploaded the video somewhere.
Yes.
Or sent the video somewhere. Anyway, it's just
this is not
it's
live.
an interesting detail. I'm not saying it proves anything. Someone could have cropped the video.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting detail, though.
Just finding out about it.
I'm not doing it with anybody but myself, so why should I have to tell you my choice, my body, my fucking choice? Joe, I've been talking to you about mad things.
Now, it seems like his anger is at the fact she didn't tell him.
Right.
Not the fact that she's doing it because she's not like making videos with other men, it seems. It's all her by herself, blah, blah, blah. Okay?
Asking for solutions to shit. You're not giving me none, so I created one.
That's no solution. Not in my book.
So people are assuming that means they're having money problems. But she needed money, so she went to OnlyFans.
That's no
you knew
solution.
who the fuck I was when you met me.
Before,
I
knew that.
thought that I would never have to go back to anything like this again.
Beforehand,
but
but
unfortunately,
no.
It's also weird to me, and this is just more of a vibe thing, but if someone's recording me with their phone while yelling at me and arguing, I would look at the phone sometimes too. Cause it's like if I'm talking to you being like, nah, Karen, you don't understand. Like you might look at me sometimes, but sometimes you're gonna look at me like, why the fuck are you still recording on the phone? It's crazy.
Right. This is a problem.
But also what she says before, the reason she's talking about before, and you knew what I was when I met you, she is an ex porn star, I guess current. She came back to the game. I'm back.
I didn't know that.
Shout out to Michael Jordan. She came back wearing the 45. Her name was Yasmin Penn Davis as her pen name or porn name.
Mm-hmm.
And so he married her And she's like, I think this is just a great advertisement for I'm making OnlyFans videos again.
Yes.
A lot of the girls from the 90s black porns are returning to OnlyFans and stuff because you get to keep all the money. Basically, you have no fucking like management or whatever.
Overhead, right.
You film with the people you want to, if you want
controlled.
to, when you want to, all that stuff. You make a video that's like 2 minutes and motherfuckers will pay out the wazoo for it compared to like the not getting paid for making fucking long ass scenes and shit back in the day. Like it's easy money compared to what they went through. So you're seeing a resurgence of a lot of those people coming back. I feel like this is just a soft launch of like, hey guys, if you look for Yasmin Penn Davis's, if you're into her and you want to see her do some strange things on OnlyFans, here you go.
Yes, sir.
Not the case
After
right now.
after that, everything's supposed to change.
Everything did change.
No. Obviously, it
Everything.
hasn't.
No, it had to. I had
Obviously,
to do something.
It hasn't. You stood out there showing your body. You stood out there doing stuff like
there you
this
go.
on camera.
Whose name is that?
Kevin Wesley must be the person that is wants to get the credit for the video.
Okay.
Because it's not her and it's not him.
Okay, because I was like, who was that?
Right.
You act like that's the only thing that I do. I have mad jobs, but they're not facilitating everything that needs to be done. So I got something extra. OnlyFans be breaking me off. What the fuck?
Come on, Keith, with that. It don't matter what they breaking you off. It's the disrespect that comes with it.
What
You
disrespect?
couldn't come and talk to me about it.
Okay, well, we're talking.
And it's obviously a great gender wars thing because I'm a woman, my body, my choice, da.
All the
And
key
you,
lines.
like basically like on some you ain't my daddy, you can't tell me what to do or think, blah blah. But also totally reasonable to be like, you made a choice that affects both of us. We're in a marriage, it's a partnership. These are things that people in a marriage discuss. People in a relationship typically would discuss this. But the extreme like man versus woman shit on Twitter, I could see people falling for that part of it and being like, yeah. Now I don't think it really worked because I think this is one that hopefully people saw through. I haven't seen too much fighting about it.
Me either.
But we're just judging the attempt. Okay.
Talking about it now.
Should I have to find out on the fly?
All right then, but now, okay.
No,
So wait.
I had to find out on the fly.
So now you know.
Yeah, now I know.
Okay.
The acting is more cringeworthy than anything.
Yeah.
He's not. Listen, he's not a classically trained actor.
Yeah, he's not strong.
She's a porn actress. It's not the strongest. Not giving the strongest acting. So yeah, now I know.
And so
they needed a better ending. He need to slam the door.
Whatever. I've been doing what I have to do. Period. Like that's bottom line. That's what it is.
Yeah. So they needed a stronger exit. I feel like if he broke something, like if they slammed a door or something.
Yeah, and also not trying funny. The thing is, if they really wanted to take this to the next level, he need to actually just disapprove of it altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Like just disapprove.
Yeah, it shouldn't just be I don't know. It should be you can't. Yeah, he need to do like a more authoritative, like you can't do that.
Yes,
I'm not gonna let you do this or something, so that people be like, well, he can't make her do anything.
Yes, that would have took it to the next level because that's how you get people in there because that's that controlling stuff. Right. And she could have turned my body, my choice, and then that line would have kind of had more meaning to it, type of thing. Because he's not saying you can't do it. He was like, I wish you would have told me.
Yeah, and she's
completely different vibe.
Yeah, and I think people are gonna go look up her, porn and stuff and see if they can find her, wherever the fuck she's putting her content right now. Because I think, that's what it's about. And, it's been a long time since she was doing brothers banging,
That's back in the day.
NYDP Blue.
Oh,
it's been a while since she did,
And also, like I said, at speaking to somebody from a producer side, when she was walking up the steps and she wanted to do it right, should have changed the angle to wide to see him while he was talking in the background too.
That's a good point.
Because he's tall.
Yeah.
So trust, he is going to be, even though he's quote unquote below you, he's going to be tall enough for you to be able to catch something with him.
Well, she hasn't had a good director since she made Screw the Right Thing, Karen. So.
Not Screw the Right Thing!
Yes, so it's probably hard for her to, to really get into that, maybe if she could have found the people that made Pussy Man's House Party 1 and 2, then we would have been in business. So yeah, she's I guess out the game, but back in the game. So according to her, they need the money. So she's, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's rate it 0 to 10, Karen. What would you give this gender war?
This actually get a 6, and I'm deducting off of some of the things I said. Like if you really wanted to actually kind of get the streets popping, when she said that, he should have been like, no, you can't do this. Like you have to have hard lines, if that makes sense. Like
I agree.
It kind of cranks it up because some people kind of fuss about, you know, people have OnlyFans, so you might get a little bit, but if he ain't coming out the gate hot, and on top of that, his energy was low. Like if you're gonna have something like this, and it's gonna be like, you know, when she started filming, he should have been in the background just ranting. I'm talking about, you know, just really just raising his voice, ranting. Like if you really want to take it to the level, people go, oh hell no, couldn't have been me. Kind of on both sides. Like to me, it's other things that you needed to do. You know, the blocking should have been a little bit better. Like I said, particularly going up the steps. So from my perspective, this is why I get like that kind of 5 or 6 range, you know, versus the little things is the thing that kind of knock it up a notch.
Yeah, I'm with you. I put most of the failure of this to resonate on him. I feel like they should have shot it a few more times. It doesn't seem like it was live. So it seemed like maybe they should have just recorded it a few more times, practiced it, because I feel like the energy level is way too fucking low for it to feel like the betrayal that it's supposed to feel. And with the way that the gender wars are set up, there's a ton of bitter ass dudes who would love to be like, this why you don't marry a porn star. See, that's why you got to get a good girl. Look at this simp. You know, like they didn't even get that in really because they don't believe it.
Right, and also not only was his energy level low, not talking about hers was kind of low too. Like it should have been like if you want to take it to like that next level, like I don't think people consider the energy level will almost dictate how how far it would go as far as being reposted and retweeted and shared online.
Yeah, I agree. I like I said, I'm a little disappointed in this one, and I think I'll give it I think I'm gonna give it a 4. I mean, the biggest thing is like, wow, fucking Joe Smith is doing fake. Like Joe Smith is doing this content. Like the game is wild right now.
Yes, it is.
But you know, in real life, shout out to him for being such a helpful like husband. You know, trying to support her and getting her OnlyFans started again. Because I mean, this is more of a bang that he's gonna get from like this video. She's gonna get more of a like people talking about it than so many of these other black porn stars that are coming back in the game. Like there's a lot of them there. Like I wish I married an NBA player so we could make a fake video and they could get mad because I'm actually doing different content and it's not getting the traction, you know?
Yeah, Miss Smart bring up a good thing. Did we even get a booty shot? Like, yeah, that's the stuff I want to see. Like if we're actually promoting this OnlyFans, we should have got like a full-fledged body shot, like kind of her. And so kind of when she was going up the steps, that'd have been a great time to show like like her body, like a whole frame with him.
Maybe even like show some of her working on the computer screen. Like, is this too much to y'all, or you know what I'm saying? Something like that. Like, yeah, you're right. It just didn't.
It don't hit the same.
Yeah, and they had a chance, but I feel like they just kind of blew it. And
yeah, like you said, the more and more I'm talking about, I think my score needs to go down. I give it about a 4 or 5. I said about a 5 or a 6 or something like that. Yeah, and it's about a 4 or 5. Like the more I talk about it, the more I actually kind of think of the things that kind of would have kind of took it to the next level. And those are the things, because y'all know what a good one looks like. And it's also one of those things where you got to believe it. Not that funny. I kind of didn't believe it. Like if you really want the gender wars to be on top, you got to believe it, say it with a straight face. You can't half-ass it. You got to be fully committed, you know, to the role, to the cause, to the skit, or whatever it is. If you ain't going to be fully committed, it just ain't going to hit the same. Yeah. And so this right here is going to be a fad. I don't see this going nowhere.
Yeah, you got to want it, man. And I mean, we done came too far.
Yeah, we done seen too many good ones for this.
Yeah, for you to be out here throwing out some bullshit, like, come on, fam. You better than this. All right, so that's gender wars. Let's go to the next segment.
That's right.
Oh wait, shit, that's not what I meant to do. Let's go to the next segment. Where's my segments? There we go. And let's do some fucking with black people. There we go.
Hey, we're just fucking with them people because they black. We're just fucking with them people because they black. We're just fucking with them black people. We're just fucking with them blacks. We're just fucking with them black people. Hey. Yay. I said, can you leave me alone? All I want to do is go home. I said, leave me alone. I want to live another day home. I said, can you leave me alone? I want to go home like, ooh, ah.
All right, fucking with black people time. Let's talk about it. Police dogs attack on a black trucker in Ohio echoes history. I told you the motherfuckers on the wrong side.
Is that them Doberman pinchers? Ain't that knowing what the kind of dogs them might is?
I don't even know what you said was just English.
The dogs, Doberman pinchers.
I know you said ain't that the kind of dogs them are is.
My bad.
Anyway,
I think them the dogs.
I don't know. Let's see what kind of. I don't think it is Doberman Pinscher. I don't know what kind of dog. Let's see. As Jadarius Rose drove his 18-wheeler through rural Ohio, a simple missing mud flap caught the highway patrol's eye. The trip ended with a police dog's powerful jaws clamping down on Rose, even as he tried to surrender. As he stood with his hands up, at least 6 law enforcement officers surrounded him at distance, one calling forcefully to the K9 handler, "Do not release the dog." Nevertheless, a Belgian Malinois, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
That must be the type of dog it was, right? Belgian. I don't know how you pronounce this shit though.
Oh, somebody said they know many German shepherds. My bad.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Hate to be dog racist. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yep. But yeah, I don't know how you pronounce the shit, but
can you show the breed? I don't know.
I mean, if you need to see it, hold
Belgian Malinois.
Malinois. Okay, all right. That's one of them French dogs. Okay, got the plane ticket on it. All right. So you wanted to see what the dog looks like? Mm-hmm. This is what the dog looks like.
Oh, those are so adorable. Okay.
Especially when they're like chomping down on you for doing nothing.
No.
For your missing mud flap. Oh my God, so adorable.
No.
The best.
No, they're not adorable when they're gnawing on you.
At first, the animal seems confused, racing past Rose towards the officers at the far end of the truck, then turning back and running for Rose, who was 23 years old. By then, the trucker's on his knees, hands still high as the officer says, "Get the dog off of him." That day, Rose joined a long list of Black Americans attacked by police dogs, a history well documented by journalists, academics, and filmmakers. They named the top ones. Number 1, Malcolm X. Number 2, MLK. That's right. You never put the number one if you want to make a list that people are going to be mad about.
Right.
But yeah, they records reviewed by the AP in 2018 showed Ohio State Highway Patrol used drug dogs in 28% of its stops involving Black motorists from 2013 to 2017. Woo. Although the Black population is only about 11.5% of people.
Wow.
The police department suspended its dog apprehension program in 2020 after a Black man was bitten, and an audit found 27 dog bite cases during the previous 2 years. Woo! Sounds like a lot of dog bite cases. Maybe I'm tripping.
That's a lot, my nigga.
You know, maybe, it could be me, guys.
I don't think it's you.
Okay, Karen says she doesn't think it's just me. Okay. Yeah, so he The FBI opened an investigation into the police department in Woodson Terrace, Missouri in 2021 after cell phone video showed 3 officers allowing a dog to repeatedly bite a black man. And in 2020, a black man in Lafayette, Indiana was placed in medically induced coma after police dogs mauled him as he was arrested in a battery case.
Damn.
Yep. So then it just goes into that. In the aftermath in Rose's case, the law enforcement originally sought to pull him over because of the truck's missing mud flap. What happened next can be pieced together from law enforcement video. He initially didn't stop as police pursued him. When he did, he saw officers with their guns drawn and took off again. At some point, he called 911, told the dispatcher he feared the officer trying to kill him. After pulling over a second time, he delayed getting out of the truck, did not immediately get on the ground and instructed. He initially was charged with felony for failing to comply with officers, but prosecutors dropped the case. Well, that happens after the dog goes off on you.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, that's when they go, hey, you know what? Maybe we don't pursue the case. Now that we almost killed him.
He might have been valid in thinking he was going to be harmed.
I feel like we may have proved the point. With this whole, letting the dog try to eat him. That seemed to be the thing he was most afraid of. Don't look too good for your boy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. He was charged with a misdemeanor version of the offenses. He was initially charged with a felony, but now they charge him with misdemeanor, but there's an active warrant for his arrest. Neither him nor his attorney have responded to repeat messages seeking comment. It's not clear why a K9 unit was at the scene. He was compliant, not a threat to anyone. So the dog's police handler, Officer Ryan Speakman, was fired because he wasn't speaking. He should have spoke. Said stop. Get off.
Did they fire the dog too?
Heel. No, the dog got a raise. It's actually now
the dog got a promotion.
It's now at a black school in Detroit.
Oh no!
Yeah, they said, they figured it out. Why not? That's 0 to 100, Karen, for how much you feel fucked with as a black.
This gets a 100.
Okay, 100
and
for Karen.
The biggest reason why y'all probably see missing mud flaps on trucks all of the goddamn time.
Mm-hmm.
They driving up and down the highway for miles and miles and miles all of the time. Them shits probably fall off all of the time. Mm. It's something that's not fun. This is something that can easily be replaced. It ain't like the brake lights was out. The fucking mud flap gonna do. I mean, I understand the purpose of it, but it's to protect mud. It ain't, it's not like the mud flap was going to harm other vehicles or some shit like that. The shit is fucking rubber. I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I give it 100. I have I just, anytime it's dogs and black people, it's just 100 for me. I think that's just how it's gonna have to be on this show from here on out. I feel like they scare the shit out of me, police dogs, period. Then you throw in like the civil rights shit. You throw in the fact that like they can just sick these motherfuckers on you and let them like do whatever they want to you. And it's never gonna be the dog's fight because the dog is still just a tool of the officer.
It's an extension, yes.
Yeah, like it just, I don't know. It just feels kind of scary to me, and it's maybe it's like a primal fear, but it definitely brings something out of me that makes me, feel like, fuck these dogs or fuck these people. So yeah, I'll give it 100 as well. We'll do one more. Jay-Z.
Okay.
Jay-Z reflects on being the first rapper inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. We want validation because we deserve it.
Agreed.
This past Friday, CBS Mornings featured the Book of Hove exhibition at the Brooklyn Public Library in New York City. In a conversation with Gayle King, Hove delved into his numerous achievements and the prolonged journey it took for the music industry stakeholders to acknowledge hip-hop as an art form. For a while, we would just dismiss rap as this fad or this noise with people just screaming over beats, he said. Not that we needed the validation, but it was like we wanted the validation because we deserve it. In 2017, the iconic New York rapper achieved the distinction of being the first MC to receive an invitation to join the Songwriters Hall of Fame. That is so egregiously fucked up. mostly because you're talking about a art form where it's literally rap. It's literally writing. It's words. You're saying the fucking words. So to be like, this is not worthy of a Songwriters Hall of Fame is so blatantly racist to me. Because I feel like if it wasn't black people, it wouldn't be, we wouldn't even be talking about this shit.
Agreed.
So yeah, it's fucking infuriating.
It's sad, but some of the things, but I hope this open up the floodgates for them to go back in history and look at other rappers kind of before Jay-Z that actually, not trying to find, that actually deserve to be in it. That some of them may be dead and gone, but at least give their family and just acknowledge their work, for what they did, so that, because it all grows on top of each other like any form of music. Jay-Z is a collection of decades of people kind of before him building up to that point, and there are a lot of other people who I think deserve to be on it in addition to him. Not, and it's one of those things. But a lot of times people want to pick. No. In addition to, so there's other people who actually some of the foundation of rap. And if that's the case, go back and, some of the original DJs, some of the original, hype men, some of those people actually need to be acknowledged in across the board too, because this is not the only category, but just across the board, you have basically overlooked it because most people didn't even really consider rap an art form. They thought it was going to fade. They thought it was going to die down. They thought it was going to be a dead fad. This shit has literally been around forever, and it's literally not going anywhere. Like, it's literally here to stay. Like, you have people that are actually getting close or near retirement age, and they've been literally rapping since they've been in their 20s. So it's still a quote unquote young form of music, a form of art compared to some of the other, but it's getting to the point where, hey, now we have 2 and 3 and 4 generations, of people that have kind of come up through this, and I can't wait to see who's going to be on it. Like, I'm very hopeful, so I can't wait to see who's going to be
and they may have let people in since then, but the fact that Jay-Z's the first, and I don't have a problem with it being Jay-Z, but the fact that he's the first in 2017, meaning rap been around since like the late 70s. So you talking about 40 years of history or some shit before you go, oh yeah, I guess we can induct the first person in this art form that's just mostly the words more than almost any of the other genres. Rap is so much just the words and the lyrics. How are they not a Songwriter Hall of Fame? Like, anyway, right? So I give it your cars.
And it's the same because it is very disrespectful, to the music, and I guess my thing, because of the history and shit like this, is like, okay, a lot of this shit that y'all consider music and shit, y'all do but steal it from black and brown people anyway, right? And then y'all praise each other and act like it's the best shit ever, when a lot of times it's just mimicking.
The only thing more condescending would be for like Eminem to be the first one. That's the only thing that could be more on brand for them. And it's not, once again, no problem with Eminem talking about this fucking industry. Yes, it just goes back to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing again. All right, let's wrap it up. We'll be back throughout the week. Of course, this is the last Walking Dead recap coming up Wednesday.
So everybody, y'all like, I want to listen, but I don't care. Well, after this week, you can come on back.
Yeah. So, all right. Until next time. Oh shit! What am I doing? Sword ratchetness. God damn!
You rushing us on out the door, ain't you?
Sorry about that. Yeah, it's still happening, everybody.
Can't stop, won't stop. Slice, slice.
Police raid man's home and arrest him after he posts video of himself with a samurai sword in public.
Oh
no! Yeah. Sorry, pop-up came up. There we go. Singapore. A man who posted a video of himself wielding a samurai sword in public has had his home raided by police, who found out the weapons and drug paraphernalia in his flat. Joel Ezekiel, 49, was charged on Monday with one count of possessing a knuckle duster, According to court documents, he was
I
found.
remember them like what you call them?
Brass knuckles?
Yes.
According to court documents, he was found in possession of the weapon at 7:30 p.m. In a release on Sunday evening, police said the man in the video is also being investigated for drug-related offenses. Oh, you don't fucking say.
Right? You don't. What? Drug offenses.
I know. I can't believe it myself.
I mean, you already got the knuckle dusters dusting off them drugs.
Right. Like, of course he was on drugs. He posted shit online as well. So, yeah.
I am shocked. Well, not that shocked.
On Saturday, police received a report about a video on social media showing a man wielding a samurai sword in public. Shout out to the snitches. He posted this on his own social media page, but somebody seen it and said,
not on my watch.
Right. I'm gonna be like that person that told on Joe Smith's wife. Like, the people need to know.
Yeah, they do.
Within 2 hours of the report, officers identified the man and raided his home in York Hill, where he was found and they found and seized more scheduled weapons and drug paraphernalia. According to Corrosive Explosive Substances and Offensive Weapons Act, a scheduled weapon refers to offensive weapons that include flick knives, knuckle dusters, and swords.
What the fuck is a flick knife?
Probably like a butterfly knife.
Okay,
like
the ones that you do.
The ones that flip out.
Okay, they pop out. Yeah.
The weapons that were found and seized include a samurai sword, a butterfly knife. Damn, did I call that, guys?
You did.
A knuckle duster and a flick knife. Wait, the flick knife is different than the butterfly knife? Okay, now I gotta look this up.
Questions. We got questions.
I think a flick knife is it reminds me of the kind where you hit the button and it comes out like they had in the Outsiders and shit.
They kind of just
West Side Story knife.
Just flip one time, you hit a button, it just kind of pop out.
It just pop out like that, like a West Side Story knife. Back when it was the Sharks versus the Jets.
Okay, what's the difference?
Well, here's the picture of it. It looked kind of like a butterfly knife. Yeah, what is considered a flick knife? A weapon that's designed or adapted so the blade is concealed when folded into the handle. Okay, so yeah, this is the same thing, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, the man was arrested at his home. Police say they have a zero tolerance towards such brazen acts and will not hesitate to act against anyone who blatantly disregards the law. And if convicted, he can be jailed up to 5 years and caned.
The fuck caned?
Caned to Singapore. He was been off.
Oh, okay. I was like, caned. How we get the caning?
He was offered bail at $15,000. The case is expected to be heard again November 20th. Hey, look. The other thing is the video he posted was him slicing a water bottle, like the kind of water that you have at the cooler that goes upside down. That goes in the water machine at work. He was slicing one of those for some reason.
Oh.
Like, I don't know what his water bottles coming to beat your ass or something? Why are you fucking up? The water bottle didn't do shit to nobody.
You got something against big water?
Oh, I see. He set another water bottle on top of the upside down water container and he sliced that bottle. I don't know if y'all can make it out on my screen, but there's a bottle on top of the water cooler.
Oh, somebody was like, no, I'm not going to deal with this.
Because they know he crazy. They told. They say, oh, he got a sword. Nope.
He probably been saying shit, walking around and shit. They was like, nope.
At the police.
At Singapore police.
Well, y'all open your DMs. We need to talk.
Yeah, we do.
All right, y'all. That's it. Thanks for listening. We'll be back later on in the week. Until then, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everybody. Have a good rest of your night. We appreciate y'all listening.